everybody. So today we're going to take a look at the Sideshow Collectibles Premium Format R2-D2 figure. So this figure came out, I believe, in 2016, and it had a limited edition of 5,000. And I think Sideshow sold out of all of them. Their website says they're sold out, so they're gone now. So they were all numbered and individually numbered. And these were the larger sized R2-D2 figures from the line of different figures that they have. So you can kind of see that it's it's very well detailed. It's got a really nice base to it, and the base was made of, I think it was like polystone or something like that. And it's a pretty decent sized figure, but I do have some gripes about it, considering that this thing retailed for $380. $380 for this thing. So I thankfully had a coupon on this and got it down to about $320 when I bought it. And so anyway, let's take some close-ups of it, and you can get a better look at it. Okay, so first let's start with the base. We can see all the nice detail going on here. Now let me get some light. So you can see they have some really good weathering going on here. I love the way they did these tubes. They painted it really nice and made it look, kind of weathered. And it's supposed to be a deck plate piece of the Millennium Falcon. This part here looks really good. I really like the way they made that look. It even looks like it's scorched a little bit over here from the heat of whatever that is. And it's actually a thick base, and it's, you can see here. And it's heavy. It's made of like a polystone material. And so the main weight of this entire thing, that's some good detail there too, is in the base. And then you can see the top part where R2 sits is kind of like the deck plating right there. So let me show you what the bottom of it looks like. Alright, so here is the base, and you can see it has some really nice paintwork going on here. Star Wars logo, the Sideshow logo, premium format. And this is numbered 990 of 5,000. So they only made 5,000, which sounds like a lot, but really it's not that many when you think about how many people will buy stuff like this. But this is a nice part of this whole set is the base. Okay, so looking at R2 now, we can see he's pretty detailed, looks really good. They did a good job on some of the weathering that goes on here. And also down here along the feet, you got the nice little cables going on right there. There's some more details. Yeah, so anyway, he is completely made of plastic, which, gosh, that's the part that I didn't like. I don't like that he's made of plastic. I just kind of think that, I don't know, for a $380 price tag, there should have been some better materials that he was made of, because, I mean, that's probably my biggest gripe about this whole thing, is he looks good, but underneath the hood, so to speak, there's not a lot going on. This is just hollow. It's just a hollow shell. It's actually, he's not really much better than, say, a plastic toy of R2 that you can buy. He's got a few things on here, like you can actually open up the door right here, and then this little arm will come out. Well, let me see if I can get it out of there. Yeah, there we go. So it's got his little, computer access arm. I think this pulls out. You see, yeah, there it goes. It extends out a little bit, but it's kind of cheapy plastic looking. Down inside there, you can see how that is. And then let's see what else. I think these little access arms open as well, so you can have those open. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like just the feel of it is just kind of cheap. I mean, you can see how they're kind of wobbly. See, this one here is really, I mean, it doesn't even stay open. And it's just really kind of flimsy. I don't know, I was just really disappointed when I kind of saw some of the stuff that this was made of. All right, so let me show you the inside of him, because that's where I thought there was some funny things going on in there. All right, so it's really hard to try to get the camera in here to see, but if you look inside there, there's a metal plate. And I was trying to figure out why they have a metal plate in there, because it doesn't really serve any purpose, because right above that, or right below that metal plate, see that little disc? That's a magnet. And that's there for the restraining bolt, which I'll show you, how that attaches on there. But there's a plate right there, and then there's another plate down here at the bottom. See that other metal plate? I was trying to figure out why they have those in there, and it turns out that the only reason that those are in there is to add weight. So, yeah, the only thing that adds any weight to this at all are those metal plates in there, because this thing, otherwise R2 would be just a lightweight piece of cheap plastic, which is kind of what he is. So in order to make him feel more quote unquote premium, they added metal plates in there, and I thought, my gosh, so that's what they did to try to make him feel more substantial, is they just put metal stuff in there. I thought that was crazy. And then this is the restraining bolt, and what's goofy about this is it doesn't even stick on where it's supposed to. It's supposed to stick right here, because in the movie that's where the jaw was put. It is on this little panel. Instead they have you put it up here because that's where that magnet is. And I thought, that's not, you know, they didn't even have you put this restraining bolt where it's supposed to go. So what I ended up doing is I took one of these little neodymium magnets right here and I stuck it on here like this. It's super strong, and there's just enough of that metal plate that's inside there that I can actually put it here, and it's supposed to, and that way it stays where it's supposed to go. But yeah, I just I just couldn't believe that, you know, they didn't even get that detail right. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed in that. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the other features on this. Okay, so on the top of his head here, you can see there's a little button right there. So when you push this down, it clicks on, and now you can see he does have some lights. So you can see his little red and blue eye light right there, which does look really good. I think they did a good job with the way that looks. And then here you can see his logic lights, and those have kind of like a nice little effect going on in there. And then over here, that's his holographic projector. And then back here we have it kind of fluctuates between orange and green. And it also does that sequencing kind of pattern to it. And then over here we have these, and I don't know if these are going to show. Oh yeah, there we go. And these actually look, let me see if I can hold this better. Okay, yeah, so you can see, I mean, it looks really good. I think they did a good job on that, because I like the effects of how they kind of slow down right there and then they kind of speed up, and they're just kind of random. That's probably the best feature that they have on this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the other thing they probably should have done, is put some kind of sound effects. I mean, he doesn't make any kind of sound effects at all. And the wheels on the bottom are plastic. The middle leg does not retract, even though the side arms are adjustable or movable. And so, I don't know, I'm really shocked at this whole thing by the quality of it, considering how much it cost. So when you pull the head off, you can see there's a little battery panel that comes off, and you got 3 AAA batteries inside there. So that's what powers this. So at least they didn't use those button cells, which I absolutely can't stand. But this does snap in just like that. And then this whole thing is, it just kind of, now see, there's something rattling in here. So when I got it, it already had something broken in there, which I don't know what it is. And then here you can see it's got some magnets up here. So this just kind of fits on like this, and it just kind of snaps in magnetically. So that's how it goes. But the head doesn't actually really, it turns a little bit, but you can't turn it any more than that. So yeah, I mean, just another thing that it doesn't really do. Now, in comparing the Sideshow one on the right to, say, a Galaxy's Edge R2-D2, so those are the ones you can get at the Galaxy's Edge theme park in Disneyland. So the very first video I ever did was how I weathered up this guy over here. And so honestly, I mean, that's $100 for this one versus $380 for this one. And the one on the left, it's actually remote controlled. I mean, I can actually move him. It's kind of hard to steer him on this little thing, but I can turn him, and his head will turn. And he's got little sounds. Yeah, see, I mean, he's got way more cool, like, features than the Sideshow one, which, I mean, you know, for a third of the price, or actually almost a fourth of the price, which is crazy. See, even he agrees. But yeah, I mean, it's just insane how Sideshow's charging $380 for these. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, for those who are thinking about maybe getting one of these, now I know these are sold out, but I know there's collectors out there just like me who, you know, find out about these things later, and then they decide they're going to buy one later on down the road. And now, of course, they're going for more money because they're worth more. But if you're thinking about, you know, maybe possibly buying one of these, I would say it's probably a a big huge pass on it and get something else like the like this guy over here, because he's just he's way more fun. He's bigger. You can move him around. He's got like mobility and I mean, there's just, I can't believe, he's he's got some great sound effects too. Now here's another comparison. This is the Tamashii Nations one here on the left, and of course we got the Sideshow one over here. Now they both have lights, but now the Tamashii one has got sound effects. It's got a whole bunch of cool little features on there, and I did a review of this guy I compared him to the which one? Oh, the Hot Toys one. So you can kind of watch that video if you want to, because this was the reigning champion. But I gotta say, I mean, even for the smaller stature of this guy here, he is far superior to this. I mean, he's got sound effects. And he's got two secret sounds too, which I also show in that video. But and also, the really cool thing about this guy here is he is made of complete and solid metal. This thing is all die-cast metal except for the head, but he is so incredibly heavy. I mean, you can see even his wheels are metal as well. But he is like a beast. This thing is just an absolute beast, and far superior quality. You know, I think you can still find these guys, and they are pricey. I think the Tamashii ones are something like, well, I got mine for I think $225 or something like that. I think they're going way more now, because as time goes on, this stuff gets higher and higher and more expensive, unfortunately. But I think when it comes to the Sideshow one here, the only thing you're really paying for is this base, because I think it's almost like Sideshow put way more work into the base than they did into the R2, and this is the main thing you're buying it, the whole thing for, is for R2. Why didn't they put some metal in him, or make him have some sound effects? Get rid of a lot of this cheap plastic material. I mean, it's really a shame. So I guess, if you're thinking about buying one of these, yeah, definitely pass on it. Look around. There's much better options out there for R2s, and I have a ton of different R2-D2s. And so trust me, I just think that this one just isn't worth it. It's definitely a pass, and so I'm sorry to Sideshow, but they just kind of flopped on this one, and yet they sold all 5,000 of them, so I guess they did okay and they got what they wanted. But so anyway, that is my review of the Sideshow Collectibles premium format R2-D2, and definitely a pass on it. That's just my opinion though. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks again, and have a good one.